So if you're tired of feeling stressed out, burned out, overwhelmed, all over the place, scattered, and feel like you don't have a plan, this video is going to help you get your life together. Let's dive in. So at the beginning of each year, I inevitably have new clients come in who are looking for a plan for their overall health and just really don't know where to start or really don't know how to get it together, both mentally, physically, and spiritually in some cases. So the first tip that I share is to take inventory of where you are. Now, as a client, we do this by giving you a full-on assessment, kind of head to toe, mental and emotional, about where you are in life, what's going on. So whether you're struggling with health conditions, whether you're really stressed out, whether you're trying to not take a bajillion supplements, or whether you're working to lose weight or just improve your overall health. We need to know what we're starting with and what we're working with and what obstacles are in the way. Now, if you saw my previous video on building your dream life, I laid out a kind of priority matrix of the things that are in your life. So looking at your relationships, looking at your health, looking at your diet, your nutrition, looking at your fitness, looking at your finances, etc., etc. Now, dialing in a little bit more specifically into your health, what I like to do is get some objective information. And that usually means it's time for those annual labs. And perhaps there's a few extra labs you might want to think about. So I always recommend you, of course, do your annual labs with your healthcare provider, but there's a few things you might want to consider adding on, especially if you're feeling tired, fatigued, burned out, and overwhelmed. So those labs I recommend are generally more functional type tests. They are either blood tests, they can be urine tests, they can even be stool tests. But they're going to give you a little bit deeper insight into the overall workings of your body. And in this aspect, it helps you be a little bit more dialed in to figure out what you actually need to tweak. That way, you're not taking a million different supplements that you self-prescribe to yourself and you don't really know if they're helping or not. So tests that I really love are things like organic acids. This helps us know how well you are metabolizing things. It lets us know about your oxidative stress levels. It lets us know about exposures to toxins. There is a wealth of knowledge in a test like this. I also tend to look at stool testing just to know how well are we digesting things, how well are you absorbing things, is there an imbalance in your microbiome, or do we even need to heal the gut and remove some triggers that might be causing overall inflammation in your body, which could contribute to you feeling tired and fatigued and bleh all the time. And of course, I also like to take a look at hormones, especially looking at things like cortisol, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, DHEA, so to get a really great picture of not only your sex hormones, but also how well your adrenal glands are working. After taking inventory, the next thing I like to do is actually create a priority matrix. What are the things you want to prioritize going forward? So specifically, if it's your health, is it, cleaning up your nutrition? Is it getting more exercise? Is it having some sort of community? This helps you to really prioritize what matters to you, because let's take the example of nutrition, for example. If you're going to prioritize your nutrition, you're probably going to need to cook at home a little bit more. So that means we're going to have to take time out for meal planning, grocery shopping, and the actual cooking process. Or whether you're doing Instacart or you're going to have a meal service delivery, either way, you're going to have to figure out what is going to work for you and how to fit it into your schedule. So that's what I mean by creating a priority matrix. That way, it's going to be a lot more likely that you're actually going to be able to prioritize these types of changes and actually get them done. And of course, the final tip is once you have all this information, right? You've looked at your labs, you know where the gaps are, you know what your priorities are, is to sit down and make a plan. And sometimes in making that plan, you might need a little bit of help. So whether it's a nutritionist, whether it's a fitness trainer, or whether it's somebody like me as a health coach to help you work through these lifestyle changes. And that's exactly what I do inside of my virtual coaching program, The Better Health Blueprint. Inside of my program, we take a head-to-toe approach. So looking at your mental space, looking at your nutrition, looking at your hormones, looking at your gut health, et cetera, et cetera. We look at all these different things, educate you on what they are so that you know what questions to ask and you know how to create a plan for yourself. And then you have someone like me to help you along the way as we go through. So if you have questions about that, if you need some help in getting your life together and feel a little bit less lost, then click the link below and you can learn about how the program works and see if it's a good fit for you. All right. I hope that this video was helpful. If you've learned something, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it does help people find the channel. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can know when I post a new video next week. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.